The entire broadcast is live. We're going to break down the shooting. Are there going to be protests? Probably not. But there was one a brewing, if there is going to be one.
Well, like I always say, don't bring a knife to a gunfight and you'll be just fine.
Here at the entire broadcast, we'll say what you
The
can't.
information provided by the speakers and presenters on the entire broadcast platform is for general informational and entertainment purposes only. Information does not represent the broadcast network and all entities involved. All information is provided in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information. Hurt feelings is not defamation.
JV Team for Life.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. The entire broadcast is the news entertainment broadcast for veterans, first responders, and all blue-collar Americans. We go live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard on YouTube, Facebook, and X. If you're a fan of the show, please subscribe. This show, of course, is brought to you by Elevated Sounds. Go to elevatedsounds.com. Use promo code ANTIR15. Save 15% on your suppressor. They have cans from everything from 22s to 50 cals. Exercise your Second Amendment right. Get yourself a can. The process is not that hard, and Jim will walk you through it. Elevatedsounds.com. Use promo code ANTIR15. Save 15%. And Vengeance, VENGENZ.com. Use promo code ANTIHERO. Save 15% on all of their products, including their brand new protein sourced out of New Zealand, made here in America. No soys, no GMOs, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, and no growth hormones. This is the premier protein. If you watch what you put in your body, this is it. This is not your $20 jug of chocolate protein powder. This is the elite protein. And if you use Anti-Hero at checkout, you'll get 15% off. And of course, join our Discord. That's where all the boys hang out. Discord is free. Every night, everybody's in there. Me and Mike come in there when we can. It's a good chance to get to know the community, get to know the guys, get to know the hosts of the Counterculture Inc. network. And of course, if you want to go even farther, join the Patreon.
Come to Patreon, where we post behind-the-scenes stuff, have exclusive meetings with the boys to talk about things behind the scenes that nobody else gets to see, exclusive events in there. We plan the meetups, all that stuff in there. If you want to be one step better than Patreon, we do a giveaway every month as well. You get a free prize. And if you want to be one step above the Patreon, you go to the antiheroapp.com. That is our own social media network inside our network. The screen's going to change in a minute. Show the antiheroapp.com. Chiron, I just know it. And you're going to go to that website.
Well, we didn't. Oh, go ahead.
All right. And we're going to go to the antiheroapp.com. We're going to do a giveaway in there as well. And you're going to get all the real deal stuff for the OGs, 99% boys in there. What do we do not do?
We didn't. Well, so my Instagram completely took a shit on me.
Mine's live.
Huh?
I'm live on mine.
You're live on your Instagram?
Yep. Yours didn't work?
No.
And then what I do is I go take the link to the show and I put it in my live Instagram. And then we're really cool.
It doesn't. Oh, yeah. I've still got to. I don't know how to add anything. I don't think you can. Can you? Yeah, there you go. Give me 2 seconds.
Go ahead, man. You got 2 hours. We can do as much as we want. Yeah, I linked the show into my little thing there. Look at that. We're here. So anyway, don't forget to join Patreon or the Anti-Hero app because it's the coolest place other than the other side of the pillow. We're going to break down some video. We've got a couple really OG foot pursuit videos to go over. So we're going to have a hell of a show. We got the communists. We got Dominic Izzo. We're going to be...
I'm good now.
Now we're good. All right.
Let's break down. So, in case you've been living under a rock the last 24 hours, well, there's all kinds of police shootings everywhere. We're pretty much used to it now. We break them all down all the time. But this one in particular is in Wisconsin. A man was shot. He had a knife on him. The police had him surrounded as far as physically, and somebody shot and killed him. So let's watch that video. All right. So
First and foremost, I want to make it very clear that you did hear a female yell, "Taser, taser, taser." She did not shoot him with a black Glock taser. So it was not her that fired the rounds. Although taser, taser, taser from a high-pitched female voice and bang, bang, bang go together very well. That's not the case in this shooting. So let's make sure that's clear right away.
yeah, I don't really know what it is about this shooting that that's getting people upset, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna read. Oh, getting people more upset than usual. Wisconsin officer kills. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna. I would guess it. This is one of those cases. I'll let you read it. Where it just to some people it may not look good, and like we talk about, looking good and being legal are two different things. But go ahead, and we'll talk about it more.
All right. So, Wisconsin officer kills man armed with knife, police say, as shooting sparks protest. Madison police said that after the chase and a struggle, a man who was being sought pulled out a knife and injured an officer, which led to a deadly shooting. So far, I feel we're good to go on this shooting. Let's share the screen real quick. In case you guys are wondering, Eli has a day off.
Oh, he does. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's me doing everything. I felt the heat when you were talking about that.
I didn't know. You didn't tell me.
He's spending time with his grandparents today.
I could have hit it.
Police officer fatally shot a man who was alleged to have pulled out a knife during a struggle. A report of someone checking vehicle doors. So attempted car burglary Wednesday afternoon in Maddison, Wisconsin. Police responded to the Marquette neighborhood about 1 p.m. after a report of someone checking parked cars. Maddison Police Chief Patterson said at a news conference, the person fled on a bicycle, but officers re-encountered him around 1:35 p.m., Patterson said. So right now we have a felony. Trying to open car doors is a felony, is an attempted car burglary.
What if he was lost and he thought it was his car?
Yeah, I'm sure he thought maybe all 7 of those cars were his. The man either fell off or was taken off the bicycle by officers, and there was a struggle with police in the intersection. During the struggle, the man, we are told, pulled out a knife or produced a knife, a fixed blade knife, and an officer was injured by while attempting to arrest him. Patterson said that a taser was used during the struggle, but that it was not effective, and that the officer who was injured by the knife was the officer who fired his gun. Ooh. Videos of the shooting were captured by bystanders and were circulated online. One of them, verified, appears to show officers holding on to the man as someone yells, "Let go." Multiple shouts, "He's got a knife," can be heard. The video also shows what appears to be an officer yelling taser as the man stands while being held by police. About 3 seconds later, while the man is on the ground, a male officer standing over him appears to fire 3 rounds, and the man stops moving. Patterson said that he has seen some videos, but added that other video has not been circulated online and is being reviewed. I caution everyone, this is one perspective. It is not full overview of everything that is visible from different angles, certainly not visible from the officers. Here's where it gets dicey. The shooting was not captured on body camera video. The Maddison Police Department does not widely use. We do not have body cameras on any of the officers involved. There was a 90-day body camera pilot program for the department in 2024. Patterson has pushed for the cameras last month, calling them an essential tool for modern policing. But funding has been an issue. The person who was killed was not identified. I want to take a moment to honestly, sincerely offer my heartfelt sympathies to his family for his loss. The police were placed on admin leave. The city's officials were in contact. My priority is to make sure the community remains safe. All 4 officers were placed on admin leave. So yeah. All right. So that's a big one right there. We always talk about the importance of body cams today, although I don't agree with them. I think if 95% of law enforcement around the country has them, you need to have them. If they abolished them, I would be all for it. But
I'll go on a side note here. Axon is a monopoly, so we do need them. I don't know you need Axons, but on a quick side note before we go into the shooting, what Axon is doing is they're collecting all the data, right? And they're making their money is in evidence.com, because you have to upload all those body cameras, and all those have to be stored for an infinite amount of time, most of them if they're critical incidents. Eventually that storage starts to fill up. So just like Apple hits you with that, hey bro, all your pictures are about to get dumped unless you spend an extra $9.99.
yeah.
Axon keeps raising the price on the storage on the cloud. So it's not the product anymore. Hey, here's a body cam. We'll give you 12
pieces of plastic. Yeah.
We'll give you the body cam. It costs us 98 cents to make this thing in China. So we'll give you this, but it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And they got a fancy name for it now. Their neighborhood, or it's one of those names that's not a name, but it is. It's for their environment. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
The
I'll look
Axon neighborhood.
No, it's not neighborhood. It's called the Axon. There's a name for it. But anyway, it's like their little place. It's kind of like the cloud, their own version. So they're selling storage now because it's like, oh, you captured it. We need it for court maybe in 3 years, but you want 4K video to show it in court, you're going to have to pay this money monthly. And they keep jacking that price up. But so that's Axon. So we do need body cameras. But what do you think about this one? What's your take on this one?
Well, obviously the shooting's good. If the information is correct and a knife was produced, I think everybody did a good job of voicing, right? That's why they teach us young cops always say things, knife, say things like, let the public know why you did something. Although some people might not believe they should, it's always good, hey, like when you do a warrant and people go, I heard the cops for 3 minutes straight telling him to come out. They were bashing on the door, identifying themselves as law enforcement. So, if the neighbors could hear it, you could hear it. It's kind of the same concept. So, but I really think what's going to jam them up socially, not really legally in any way, is that I said Axon always warns you, don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get caught not using our product. And it seems like this chief came out there and said it. I've tried to get body cams, and it's a city funding thing. So now it's going to be the blame game of, whose fault it is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's captured on video, so it's not terrible. It's the ecosystem, like Brad said there. It's the Axon ecosystem. They created this ecosystem, and again, the products are cheap. Here's your taser. Here's your fucking body camera. Take it, man. It's cheap. We'll give you a deal 2 for 1, but you have to store it, right? And eventually, it's like, well, you can't not keep storing it. So that's where they're making their money. But yeah, this is one of those ones where if you want me to play like blue-haired liberal, I could say, oh my God, you mean 4 cops? 4 cops can't control one guy. This is horrible. Look at it. They should have used a taser first. Oh, they yelled taser, then it didn't work. They didn't give it time to work. Like, you can play the blame game all day long. The bottom line is law enforcement is ugly. It's not a pretty game. It's not made to be fun. It's not a fun job. Although these girls dance around and with their pink handcuffs and lip gloss and all that and make it seem like it's fun. This is really what law enforcement is. This is what the reality of it is. And the bottom line is, you don't get to swing a knife around when you're getting taken into custody and stab a cop, and you're gonna end up shot. That's it. I mean, hate it, love it, whatever 50 Cent song said, love it or not, whatever he said. But it's you can't have a knife swinging around at the cops. They have no duty to get stabbed. They can disengage and shoot you, and that's your fault.
So I'll play blue-haired liberal. So we have to take, I am going to remove BJJ from this situation, because had those officers been trained a little bit better physically to take, once a knife's produced, they would just, you can't BJJ a knife. So understandably, if we were breaking down this call and it was like a lawsuit against them and the guy didn't die and he was beat up, I'd be sitting here arguing 4 dudes taking down a dude like this. Could they have known some BJJ, or some team tactics to get him into custody, sure. But I'm not going to use that because a knife was produced, and that's what's in question. So, the only thing I can think of would be disengaging. And I'm trying to appease the public. I'm trying to think like what was devil's advocate say, and appeasing the public would be disengaging and giving warnings to drop the knife.
But here's and
That being
I
said,
know I know you're not serious. You're just using some type of argument, because if you pause it at that one point right here coming up, you'll see. Keep going. I'll tell you. I'll pause it when it's ready. You'll see that if you do disengage, in view of the camera are multiple innocent civilians behind this guy. So you disengage, he turns around and stabs a civilian, takes somebody hostage. You're right back. There you go, right in the background, right there. You'll see to the right.
Yeah, I see him.
There's people. I mean, you can't. This is one where it just doesn't. It's not going to look pretty. And you could BJJ a knife if those 4 guys were trained or had training in pinning the arm down and do. Absolutely, they could, but I still wouldn't ask even a BJJ expert to risk getting your jugular sliced, dying and bleeding out just because you know some tactics. It's all cool when you have a blue knife in a room and you have the fake plastic knife and you train it and you do the 2-handed grip and you pin it and you pin his arm.
Fuck that, dude.
That's all cool if it's feasible, but you do not have to get stabbed in this job.
Well, let's look at this, Mike. You're responding. You are black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? You're the head cadre, adjunct head cadre for training, but this is your beat, and it's just you and this guy with a knife. Let's just say you're feeling froggy, and you're like, I'm going to just like you're hands on with him already, and he produces this knife, and you make the conscious decision. I'm going to continue staying hands on and get the knife, right? That's your call. I wouldn't advise it, but that's your call. You start mixing 3 of your buddies in there who are all hands-on with him, and you're looking at that knife, and you're like, I don't know where this knife blade is going to be in the next 15 seconds.
Correct.
I can vouch for myself that it's not going to go near me, but I'm trying to control it. If they pull the arm I'm controlling away, and then he gets now leverage, they take that control away from you, and you can't control him touching them with that blade. So it's almost like,
yes, and that's an argument for me, and I know Joanna makes this argument too, is when the cops fight against each other. Like we see it all the time in use of forces where they do it's a tug of war against each other. If only one is trained in BJJ and the other 3 aren't, the one might as well not be either, because everyone around him is not going to perform anything that's, any necessary tactics. It's going to be a free-for-all. At that point, you're in probably more danger than you were if you were one-on-one. If you were one-on-one, a black belt in BJJ is going to have a huge advantage. You put a black belt in there with 3 idiots just flailing and swinging and grabbing and pushing, you're right. You might have a perfect armbar or a Kimura lock or some type of pin on this knife, and next thing you know, when the dude elbows you in the fucking skull and dazzle, rings your bell, next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, and the knife is swinging. So you would be better off one-on-one as a BJJ black belt than one with 3 dudes who have no idea. And they're kicking at him, they're fucking kicking them, they're doing all that.
You saw that the first time I saw that.
I saw that too. That's the first time I noticed, the old cockroach stomp there. But yeah, I mean, unless everyone was trained equally, you do not have to disengage. You do not have to get stabbed. And hey man, it is what it is. I mean, we're pretty hard on cops when they do something stupid. I know we're pretty fair. And in this case, if that female wasn't there, I don't know what else would have happened, man. It was a good thing she was there. And then, the guy does the job with the gun. So, hey man, use of force is ugly. Don't try to stab the cops and everything will be good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't really know any way to swing that. So now the one thing that's happening is I don't know about anything about Wisconsin. I know Nick in the comments said that it's based. I also don't know what that word means. I've tried to figure out what based means.
I think good.
What?
Based, I think, means good.
Oh, he said Wisconsin is based.
If you're based, I think you means you're okay.
But the reason why I wanted to cover this extensively is because you get to see in like the nucleus forming in real time of how the media would want to push this narrative. Now, we were never aware to start looking for this when it happens, because as law enforcement officers at the times and now retired, we never once thought that some of these shootings would even be challenged, let alone have the country divided. So now it's interesting to see these shootings in real time, and watch it as protesters start coming to the streets and seeing how it's going to be spun. This is a clear shoot all day. In my eyes, I think in the eyes of the law.
Here's what I can tell you: it's not going to be a big deal. One, it's not on national news. It's on, we're seeing it on Instagram. Two, but here I'm gonna throw a curveball. Replace those 4 cops with ICE agents. This is national news. Same scenario. Same scenario, same everything across the board. That's a illegal immigrant getting detained to go get detained by ICE, pulls a knife, shoots him. This would be all over CNN, everywhere, Fox News. This would be the biggest story in America. But that's what I'm saying. These little things just change the scenario out. It's local, Wisconsin cops, probably, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, you could spin it ugly. Like I said, I could sit here and make a case for it to be terrible. I mean, if I want, I'd be wrong, but I could do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're hands-on already. It's not like officer-induced jeopardy. It's not, you put yourself in that situation. You also have a public to defend, around you.
Well, I'll just speak real street cop real quick. Usually when you're taking down a fucking drug addict, car burglar on a bike, I'll be honest with you, dude, you're not thinking firearm call. You're not thinking, I'm going to need my gun. You're thinking he's going to run. I'm going to have to fight him. And I honestly think that even if I'm the first one to say, guys, I'm always thinking how I'm going to get shot or who I'm going to shoot, even when I go into the 7-Eleven. But in this scenario, shooting somebody really it's just not the type of crime that typically happens. So when you got 4 of the goons out there, or 3 goons and their maid, no, I'm just kidding, guys. Shit like this, we see this all the time. And then when it becomes a deadly force situation in a matter of a second because he produces a knife, that's why it looks kind of ugly. But yeah. I mean, I think it looks ugly because there's 4 cops. I guarantee you that kick's going to get thrown into the media. I don't really know what that guy was thinking. It wasn't effective. It might have kicked him in the leg, but
that's good.
But I mean, I don't know.
The guy was trying to leg sweep him. He was kicking his leg back. Good.
Yeah.
Look at Joanna pointed out the hilariousness of if you watch the guy in the background that pulls up, at the black guy that pulls up, when you see the other angle, you'll see him like hear the shots and then look back at his car like I should leave. Like this is a bad. If you watch it from the guy that pulls up behind in slow motion, he'll get out, he'll like look, the shots go off, and then he kind of looks back at his car like, watch, he'll be like,
oh shit.
Let me get in the car and leave. She pointed that out this morning when we were watching it. She's like, this dude did not want to be there. He's like, man, I pulled up to the wrong
fucking call. Hilarious.
Now he's involved in the whole thing. So
yeah. So I mean, and the protest thing, like you said, protests might have to catch fire quick. It's obviously got to have a political agenda to it, a national political agenda. It's got to be covered by the major news agencies.
He looks white, right?
Huh?
He looks white.
The suspect?
Yeah, I can't tell.
No, he's black.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh. Light black.
All right. It's hard to tell. He's got a hoodie on or a hat on.
It's hard to tell. He's getting his ass kicked by the police.
His legs look white. All right.
He's light skinned, bro.
All right.
But
usually the headlines lead with race. That's why I'm asking. I didn't see it.
The protesters already have Black Lives Matter signs out there.
No way.
Yeah. So and they're starting to come, and I wanted to cover this because we've never covered something in real time that had the potential of, because obviously on-site protests then turn into big, large-scaled protests, which turn into civil unrest, which turn into rioting and destruction over a matter of 48 hours. So, and if you remember Eric Brown, I don't know if any of you guys remember that case, but I know you remember the hands up, don't shoot narrative that was completely falsified. Eric Brown was trying to take the firearm away from a cop and overpower that cop, and Eric Brown was shot for it. Eric Brown died,
Michael Brown.
and then
I'm saying right. Michael Brown.
Michael Brown. Oh, I'm thinking of Eric Garner.
Michael Brown. Michael Brown. Ferguson.
Yeah, Michael Brown. The hands up, don't shoot thing was completely falsified by witnesses saying they saw him, and then all those witnesses went back on it, said, "Nah, he didn't say that." So the autopsy showed he didn't have his fucking hands up by the way the rounds hit him.
No body cam.
That's going to be the only issue I see with
no, I'm saying in Michael Brown, right?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I think that was cell phone video. Was that even cell phone video?
Saw video of that one.
Is there Michael Brown BWC? When did that happen? 2015? 2014?
It was right around that. It started with, hold on.
It was Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, the kid in
Baltimore. On it. August 9th, 2014.
Gray in Baltimore that died in police custody in the paddy wagon. And then the big one was George Floyd. Those were the big five that really was spun by the media. So, yeah, I mean, that's essentially it. We'll see if anything comes from it. But like I said, protesters were already moving in with their little fucking gay signs. White people, of course. So maybe it won't go anywhere. I don't know. Maddison, Wisconsin. I don't know shit about that city. I don't really know about Wisconsin, period.
There's a hero up there if they need him, right?
George St. Floyd?
No, your buddy.
He's down there.
Your friend. Rittinghouse. Isn't he around that area?
Rittenhouse?
Isn't he up there?
I don't know. No, he went into Wisconsin, right?
He was close by.
Huh?
He lived close by, I thought.
I'm sure he's moved since then. You know what somebody sent me?
Before that, he's wearing a anti-hero shirt. I got it yesterday.
He's wearing an anti-hero shirt?
Yep.
CC sent me one of him wearing a Counterculture Inc. shirt too.
Okay, yeah. My man.
Yeah.
Shooter, man. There's a shooter in the club. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how you get this one is just too it's too obvious. It's not a problem.
So what is your do you have any videos? I've got a couple I wanted to watch with you all week. We just haven't gotten to them. There's always Casual Friday, so don't feel rushed.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I got okay. All right, hold on. There we go. Let me go into my vault here because I'm well prepared today. Let's go with a beta watch commander.
Right on.
That ain't it.
That's mine.
Okay. So this is, let me set the scene for this. This is a shooting suspect in California where you'll hear them calling it out and that they're telling the watch commander that they saw this guy shooting from the vehicle. I want you to rate this guy's performance as the watch commander.
Frequency 75, 78 in pursuit of an ADW shooting suspect. Gray Tesla Cyber truck. Wait for ADW, possibly armed.
Your northbound to Palmer. Now making a U-turn back to southbound. The vehicle has a bullet hole on the driver's side door.
9090 have all families good. You know, that's terminate pursuit.
Hey, 9090, before I do that, I have CHP right behind you. Do you mind if I get up into this pursuit?
Over at my van, I can get out of that pursuit.
Okay, and we are giving up the shooting suspect that was shooting having vehicles on the 210, what I believe to be muzzle flash. Just want to be sure you got the whole picture that you came in a little later on.
There is no shooting suspect. It's just evidence of a little hole in the vehicle. That's all they have right now.
But I'm just letting you know, I observed muzzle flash coming from the vehicle. I just want to make sure that was clear.
Cancel the pursuit.
And yeah, copy. Cancel the pursuit. CHP station over.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes. I can't. My fucking legs broke.
So, if you're listening close, what you have is the beta-ness of the watch commander. You have a guy who says initially it comes out that they have a shooting, like the vehicle's been shot, and that what that officer is trying to relay. He's a city cop, and then CHP. CHP, California Highway Patrol's out there. He says, I got highway patrol behind me. I'm behind the car. Watch commander. You can tell, I don't care what you say, you did it long enough. You know a voice of a beta cop. You can hear it right away. You can hear the beta.
You could be like, he's got a gun in my face, and they're gonna be like, kill the pursuit.
So he's saying kill the pursuit. And he says, I want you to understand that it's a shooting suspect. No, they don't have a shooting suspect. They have a bullet hole in his car. And then the dude says, no, I saw the guy shooting from the moving car myself, my own eyes. Terminate the pursuit. I mean, we talk about pursuit policy. We disagree. Like we're a little bit, we chase cars, but there's always, there's a little leeway in there if a family gets killed. But you have an active guy that was actively shooting from a vehicle recklessly. He has to be stopped. He has to be chased. He has to be taken out. I would agree with that one. It's nighttime, and obviously CHP ended up doing it, but I think that's a real telltale sign of the direction of law enforcement, and especially in a dangerous place like LA area, very congested, to have a guy actively shooting from a vehicle and your officer's giving you a layup. Like, hey man, this dude was because that one's always in there. The one that the shooting a deadly missile from the vehicle or whatever that fucking one is, like, that's a layup, dude. You have to stop that car.
Well, I mean, I commend that. So I'm assuming that was an LAPD bird.
I'm not sure who it was. I don't know if it was LAPD. I don't know what other agency was involved.
But I commend. So typically, pilots of those are law enforcement guys who have been in the agency for a while. So they've got some tenure. They've also in a very specialized position where you can't just get rid of aviation guys. You can get rid of a canine guy. You can get rid of a SWAT guy. You can get rid of aviation's one of those ones where a lot of money and time are invested into the person that's in that cockpit. So they're not just, I'm not saying it can't happen, but they're not somebody to be trifled with. And I really respect him going, he essentially was like, I just want to make sure you are being a bitch. You're being a bitch. And I want to make sure that's what you're being. I commend that dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's like the whole, I think the guy in Hillsborough or Lee County got fired. We haven't even gotten to that one. Last week, he tried to hit me head on. You know that one? He tried to run into me in a car, and I think they watched the video, and I still don't know that I haven't looked into it enough. But, that authorized the pursuit, and then they watched it after the fact, and were like, well, it didn't really appear that way. When you got a guy on the radio saying, I saw muzzle flash gunshots, this is a shootout coming from this vehicle, again, that is like every pursuit policy I've ever seen covers that, like firing from a moving vehicle, like drive-by. That's like dangerous.
Very dangerous.
We got like U-turning and all that, where they could have just fucking plowed into him when he was U-turning or tried to pit. But yeah, I mean, that dude, I'm sure, that watch commander is going to come back and be like, you motherfucker, I told you the first time, and you fucking made me look like an asshole. I'm sure that's coming.
Dude, all right. I like scenarios. All right, your crime suppression Corporal Dilks, right? You're out there. This is your agency. You're a supervisor, but you're not a supervisor of that shift. You just happen to be out doing your shit, and you hear,
That's how I got demoted.
You hear this bullshit going on the radio. You hear the birds saying, I saw muzzle flashes, and you get an opportunity to wreck this dude into the fucking wall and end it. Are you doing it?
Yes.
My man. That's why you're not copying more.
Yeah. I mean, so, and I don't know their policy. Our policy, pit, is your own decision. You don't have to ask for it. As long as it meets the qualifications, which is under 60 miles an hour and all that good stuff. Paved road. I don't remember all of it. It's been years, but you don't have to ask. In this case, you would almost be inclined to do it just because this beta bitch is like, no, don't, terminate the pursuit. Terminate. I think they learned that in the FBI Academy or those advanced leadership class. I think every morning they come in and go, ready, go. Terminate the pursuit. Terminate the pursuit.
Together. Say it together.
You're guilty of violating the code of conduct. You're guilty of violating the code of conduct. I think they practice all those at de-escalation. I think that's part of the FBI Academy and all those training academies they go to. But at the end of the day, bad guys have to go to jail. And there's certain times when bad guys go to jail, regardless of what some other moron says on the radio, and you're like, hey, bro, I don't care what you say, I'm taking this guy out. Like I have to. And that's that. That's why I'm sitting on a podcast.
Nick says, for me, the individual trumps the agency narrative. You have to hold yourself accountable.
Think if you take that dude out, you're gonna end up on our show. You're gonna end up on a lot of shows. If you get terminated for that and you do the right thing, you're fuck that guy. Fuck that lieutenant or whoever he is, man.
Sometimes I think, like, do you have an argument? Let's say you fucking pitted, like, not even a legal pit, dude. He does that U-turn and you're coming up like this and you say, fuck it. And you crush that driver's side door into that fucking concrete wall that he passed by, right? Let's say you did that and you're like, I heard that he's firing into passing vehicles. He's about to pass more. I made the call because that watch commander is incompetent and he's going to get people hurt. I wonder if you'd have like an argument.
You're going to violate the policy all day. The argument is going to be the interest of the public, and I don't know how their procedures work. Would a board find you? You violate policy driving into work in the morning. Every second of your day, you're violating one of their billion general orders, right? You're doing something wrong. But I know before PIT was a thing in this county, going back all the way back to Sheriff Roy Raymond, you're going back like 2001 or 2. We had a very similar situation where a dude was driving the wrong way. We didn't have a PIT policy. We had a kind of a weird pursuit policy. And one of the dudes just did that. He T-boned the guy at an intersection. And the sheriff called him in and said, hey, dude, you violated the policy. Here's your letter of counseling, the minimal amount of discipline. He handed it to him and he said, great job. Like, I'm glad you did it. He's like, I can't get around not just saying you get away scot-free, right? You have to get something. You violate the policy. But he handed him a letter of counseling, which is the same as like being 30 seconds late for work, and then told him, great job. Like,
well, and also you get to say, I mean, there is, I think, a good form of leadership where you get to say when they want to hammer him, oh no, he's been officially disciplined. Mm-hmm. Anything outside of this official discipline is now subject to like union stuff.
Yeah. You call him in immediately and give him. I verbally counted him. He's already been disciplined.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, we're all going down together. But for something like this, it's worth it sometimes to like take a stand. But that's the problem we talk about with cops is they're not willing to stand up for anything. You're going to get your buddy who you thought you were cool with, and he's like one rank ahead of you, and he's going to go, hey man, I'm sorry, dude, but I can't. My mortgage is due, and the kids, my kids going to college. I got football. I'm gonna have to write you up, man. And you're like, bro, like we talked about this our whole career. This is what we're here for. We're goons, right? And he's like, yeah, but I'm a sergeant now, so I gotta, so I gotta do it. And that's the wrong. That's why I'm gonna. Let me start over. That's why I'm gonna make sure that a command staff is extremely competent in real life application of pursuits, use of force, shootings, because without that knowledge and experience, they cannot judge you. And I don't want to watch a commander that's like this. I don't want this guy.
Some people are asking us if we have I don't know where this video is. Oh, here it is.
What is it?
Nothing. Some people are asking me, do you have the video on hand of the guy like that was bashing his wife's skull in with a baseball bat and the cop?
Babe, can you send it? Yeah, Joanne will send it. It was his dad.
Nick, I'm not going to lie. I saw Shot Timer Live cover this. I did not watch it. I saw the reel. I saw that there was a reel. I'm not going to lie. I was super busy at the time. I didn't watch it. I don't think I've seen this video in full. I'm a little perturbed with somebody getting their head smashed in with a baseball bat. I think that's kind of fucking
my wife's still
gnarly.
Officer involved.
Did the cop didn't?
He missed a lot.
Hit him. He missed. Okay,
a lot.
So we're gonna put that up on the screen and break that down.
I gotta navigate the pages that I'm not blocked from. Hold on.
Police posts got to have it, right?
I got it.
Nick said I clipped it out of context. First off, gold star for Nick. That's how you do it, bud. Clipped it out of context. We didn't cover the instance, but it fit the narrative after the fact. And I know Anthony talked about it on Counterculture Health and Fitness last night as well.
Did he have that echo?
Yeah, he did. He had a bad echo. His
How
first
did
show.
I don't understand how it happened.
He's been a guest a billion times on podcasts, so I don't know what happened last night.
All right, I got a couple views here.
Matt Prinka posted it.
I got it. My
Yeah.
wife, she listens. Actually, got 2 views of it. Look at me. All right. Boom. I think we both do that, right? We're doing something.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Boom, 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 boom.
You got everybody, you got the whole show waiting on you. I know how it feels.
It's all right.
You're kind of subconsciously trying to let people know that it's coming.
It's coming. All right, I'll play this angle first. I'll play whatever angle pops up first. This one. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Shoot him! But he's fucking missing. He's fucking missing.
Missing a lot. So let's go back.
Holy shit. How
This
many
is from
shots is
David.
that?
A lot.
Shoot him! Shoot him! But he's fucking missing. He's fucking missing.
Holy fuck.
All right, so that's
Shoot him!
that's from the neighbor's view. And then I'll play the body cam.
Holy shit, dude. That is fucking brutal, by the way.
Yeah, it is pretty brutal. He's really not swinging that hard though. He's kind of like
To
tapping.
hit somebody lying down with an aluminum baseball bat to the head that many times, dude, that's fucking brutal.
Stone Cold used to do it all the time with Undertaker, and neither of them ever got hurt.
Yeah, right.
Here we go. Here's the body cam.
Fucking bat down! Put it down! 63, step it up! Put it down! I'm gonna fucking...
She's like, oh shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Holy cow. What's the context of this call? Does anybody know?
I think it was a son and a dad. Son was
The
beating
dad killed his son?
No, that was the son beating dad up.
Oh.
I'm not an expert. I'm just a dude.
God, could you imagine being such a psychopath? You murder a family member with a baseball bat?
I mean, I'm going to point out something that the officer said that makes me realize he was not ready for that day.
I'm going to fucking shoot you.
I'm good with that. Step it up. You're one-on-one, dude. This is the day. This is the backyard. This is Steph Curry in the backyard. This is Michael Jordan in the backyard. Kobe Bryant in the gym. This is 5, 4, 3 in your head. You're shooting that 3-pointer to win the championship. This is the day you trained for. This is the day where you went through the police academy, when you got the free lunch at Chipotle, when Chick-fil-A gave you that extra biscuit. This is the day when you put on that uniform that you were called for. This is the one. This is the call. This is it. You have a guy being murdered in front of you. This is the day all your training and experience comes to fruition and you're ready to perform. When you get on the radio and say, step it up, you're asking for somebody else to come help you. You are the guy. It's almost like there's no 911 for you. We are the 911. It's not like, I'll time out. Step it up. I need somebody else here. That is you, man. That is the day when you put that uniform on and the badge and you stood there and your mom and dad took the picture and you were swearing in. That was it, man. This is all the checks, all the ink, all the money in the bank. This was the day you were supposed to perform. You missed every round. I'm not knocking the dude. This is a knock on the profession.
You have my permission to knock on that dude, man. If you can't, if you're so stressed, right? His body camera did seem to be make the distance look a little bit different. It looked a little farther away.
Close it.
Close it. Run.
Yeah.
Run. Yeah. He's got a fixed object, dude.
I talked about this and I was talking to JoJo, like when we were in SWAT and we did the HR, the hostage rescue stuff, when we bend the corner in a room where there was like a knife to a head or a knife, whatever, our training was to push towards both and do a contact shot to the skull if you could. Your goal is to get close. Now, in this case, I'm not saying you have to run all the way over there, but you should be able to take that shot. But if you can't, and you should be. So the guy I'm talking about that performs and is ready to perform will be able to take the shot, but close the distance. When you get on the radio and say, send units, whatever he said, I need help, you're not ready. You got to close the distance and get to a comfortable range where you can make that shot. I'm not asking you to take a fucking sniper shot from 25 yards with a pistol in a high stress situation. That's not it. That's not practical for even excellent shooters. Are going to have a lot of stress that you can't control.
Shoot him!
But you have to drive close and you have to kill him. And Dom hates that word, but this guy needs to go. And the only way to stop this one is not body shots. This is lights out. You have to incapacitate his brain, T-zone shot right between the eyes, right to the side of the head to make sure this guy stops beating that dude with a bat. So this is the one. This is the one, man. This is the one you're supposed to be ready for. This is your Uvalde, right? This is your big call. And when your first thought out of your mind is send more units, you weren't ready for this call, dude. You weren't ready. So I don't know the hit percentage. It looks bad. Everybody's knocking his marksmanship. I get it, and I'm not even concerned about any of that. I'm concerned about every person watching that video, every girl getting dressed and camera setting up the tripod, everybody doing whatever they're doing. Your day's coming with this call, man, and hopefully you're ready for it.
All right, let's. I have a question for you. I want to know your take on this. We broke this down while you were out of town on open mic. I want to know your thoughts. Now, this is the PR video. I think it's a good video. I said I'm okay with this one because it's actually funny. It's not corny, but I want to get your 2 cents on it.
Hey, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning. So my car was broken into last night.
Was anything taken?
Yeah, my purse is gone, my wallet's gone, like everything that was in there is pretty much gone.
Any windows broken or anything? How'd they get in?
No. Oh, I just left it unlocked. Oh, I just left it unlocked. Just left it unlocked. Oh, I just left it unlocked. Just left it unlocked, unlocked.
Every time someone leaves their car unlocked, a police officer dies a little inside. No, but seriously, listen, lock up your cars, take all your valuables out, and help us prevent these vehicle burglaries in the future.
What do you think?
You know that's in my county, right?
Oh, for real?
That's Sebastian Police Department, which is in Indian River County.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know where that was. I thought it was in like
so
Iraq.
They make a lot of cringe. They jump on all the trendy cringe, like what's the police car make sound? Woo woo, and the does he open doors for you and all that stuff.
Yeah, those are gay, and I've seen that cop doing those.
Yeah, he does. I know him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with him. That one, it's kind of like the one I'll show you in a little bit. I brought a video where the problem is they're not really doing. How do I say this? It's video after video. So if you're going to put up if you're going to put up 50 cringe videos, one of them, I'll give it to you. That one's funny. That one is funny. It resonates. You want to strangle people when they say they left their car unlocked, and you're like, you did what? Like, what? So that one's funny. I'll give it to you. It's funny. I can't knock that one. It's good, but they do the ones like laying down, looking in the window, and when you're texting on your phone, and all the trendy ones. It's like, man. Here's the thing. I got destroyed for doing this, dude. I got put in the international news for making these videos.
What did you do?
I was doing the same shit, dude.
No, but you didn't do it. Wasn't sanctioned. You didn't do it for the department.
So I was a rogue PR guy. I was doing and actually the current sheriff, Eric Flowers, bought me a ring light because he loved the videos at the time and was encouraging it.
He aided and abetted you.
until the Daily Mail got involved, and then I was a rogue piece of garbage. So I was cool. I was doing this really cool stuff way before it was cool, man. I was making these videos. I was taking my shirt off. I was doing all kinds of cool things. But no, this was funny. I mean, if you mix this in my opinion, and then this is what I'll get to when we watch the video I'm going to play later. When you mix this in with real police work, I don't think this is a terrible video. But this is the reason I also like this. This is original content. There's nobody else made this one like these guys. So it's not like a ripoff, right? You get the Netflix one right now, my documentary. You get the what does the police car make? Wee, and then they replay it. They're biting off each other. This, I'll give it to them. This was original content. This is funny. You're right. Every time you say I left the car open, you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. So I'll give it to them. This one was good. They got some other ones that are horribly cringe and not good, but this one's funny. Please give me my credit.
JoJo said you were cool before it was cool to be cool.
Now, if they rip off the Savage Love dance that I pulled off the Jason Derulo dance with no shirt and just skinny jeans on, then I'll get impressed. Like, that's where it really gets interesting. So
I'm proud of this comment section for seeing a cop in a turban and leaving it alone.
He's a good dude. I mean,
is he?
Yeah, he's a good dude, and I'll like, he was good about backing up the county guys when we were in the city and listening to the radio. So I'm not going to knock that.
Is he a cop?
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, he's on SWAT, all that, in Sebastian Police Department. But they get a pass on this one, right? I've critiqued them before. I've commented on their videos. They had a couple really bad ones, and I was like, "Yo, bro, what is this?" And I don't know if I get the cold shoulder from those guys, but I can't be a hater and say it's not funny. I mean, that one hits home. That's a good one. There'll be another bad one. I'll send it to you when it comes out.
All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, guys. We'll be right back. We got a couple more videos. We also got Dominic Izzo gonna pick his brain about some stuff, and then of course we've got the communist Ryan, a Marine communist, coming up after the break.
Over a century ago in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, re-engineered medical education from a holistic, whole-body approach, which appropriately treated the body as an interconnected system, to a compartmentalized approach under the guise of specialized medicine. They shut down or consolidated medical schools, marginalized naturopathic, homeopathic, and chiropractic medicine, replacing them with symptom management and synthetic drugs. Allopathy is a marketing strategy rooted in fear and manipulated science. This philosophy carried into veterinary medicine, resulting in over-vaccination, unnecessary surgeries, and manufactured food, just like they did for people. They call it care, but it's predatory and based in profitability. The truth? Toxicity, compromised immunity, and chronic inflammation. They're not fate. They're engineered. And so is your power to undo them. We built 3 targeted formulas to return the body to homeostasis, for pets and people. To detox, defend, and restore. We are the correction to decades of corruption. We are vengeance.
What up, guys? This show is also brought to you by Counterculture Inc. Go to countercultureincthreads.com and use promo code ANTIHERO. You save 15% on the real graphic tees. Mainstream's over. Let's kill the trends. Counterculture's here. The new 2026 logo is in. We make them in-house, plus all of the other graphic design tees we have, like Prepare for War, what's the gun one I have that I like? Forever Hold Your Peace, Memento Mori. I mean, we have all of the OG ones. Lots of sales because we're making room for the new stuff. But this was the first new design launched this month, Counterculture Inc. And then we call it the $25 shirt. But you use a promo code, you're going to get it for even cheaper. So go to countercultureincthreads.com and use promo code ANTIHERO, save 15%.
And CopvilleOG.com. Go to CopvilleOG.com. Use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off. If you've noticed and been watching my story, I'm back to actually working again. I dropped like 10 new stickers in the last 2 or 3 days. So if you go to CopvilleOG.com, use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off. You'll be able to save money on those stickers. I dropped a Don't Flock Me Bro instead of Don't Tase Me Bro. I dropped a Suspended sticker. And I reached out to those guys who made that video and sent them some stickers. So go to copvillog.com, use code ANTIRE15 for 15% off your order. Don't be dumb. And
Goon tape.
You got them? Goon tape. Goon tape provides the softest, no-slip grip for tools you count on most. Our premium raid tape felts recoil, wicks moisture, and covers attachment rails so you can stay on target and in the fight even when the work gets wet. It's made proudly in America, so raid responsibly. Go to goontape.com, use code ANTIRE15 for 15% off. And don't get mad at some of the stories they post. They're a good company.
All right. Anybody in yet? We got time to mess around.
My wife told the biggest lie she's ever told.
What was that?
In history. She said, am I coming on? I said, I don't care. She's like, well, you guys already talked about everything. She says, I don't have anything to say. And I was like, you don't have anything to say. That's a lie.
That's genetically impossible, Jojo.
It's fully impossible. And the funny thing is, I think she's outside because I see the door, so she doesn't even hear me saying that. But yeah, Jojo lied today. She doesn't lie ever, but she did tell a lie today because she said she had nothing to say.
All right. Let's talk about this one. This was sent to us multiple times. I'm sure you've seen it. I think this was my old agency, maybe an SRO.
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. Lower your voice.
Fucking try it.
Okay.
Are you threatening me?
Yep.
You're threatening me.
Are you threatening me?
I'm just
Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
What do you mean OPD?
Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73?
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
Oh my God. Pepper spray? Stop.
Oh yeah, it gets worse. It's bad on both sides. I could definitely critique this, but we'll
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No, just
get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you gonna calm down?
I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this.
I'm telling you, are you gonna calm down?
I will calm down. I will calm down.
You know what this is?
I will calm down when you get the pepper spray out of my face.
Alpha 73.
Leave me alone.
I have
just please
pepper spray at this individual
just stop
right now.
putting the pepper spray at me. I will calm down if you do that. Stop threatening me.
Yeah, lower your voice.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Do you want to get tased?
I want you to leave me alone. You have been particularly abusing me.
If you come towards me one more time,
follow me.
You are gonna.
And send abuse administrators. Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Jaylee, don't focus on me, okay?
Get away!
You don't tell me.
All right,
I would have walked away at that point.
Long story short,
First
yeah.
of all, I would have body slammed it much earlier and taken it in the custody.
I think there's two ways to deal with this, and you just said them both. Walk away, let the school handle it. The school, he's having a mental breakdown. It's not anything criminal. If the school requests you to Baker Act him or request you, Baker Act criteria to me doesn't fit it. If the school's like, this is how he is all the time, oh, okay, then maybe it's not Baker Act criteria. Or you just go hands on and slam him on the fucking ground, and maybe next time he'll think about screaming at a cop. There's two ways to do it. But
I don't think they're ever going to learn their lesson about screaming at a cop because their mind has been altered that they think they can be a gender that they're not. So that's out of the question for any type of semblance of reasoning. But yes, you take them into custody, cuff them, take them. I would Baker Act up. I wouldn't arrest them. I would Baker Act them. Obviously, they have a severe mental problems and in crisis. But yeah, if they were like we do the armed barricades all the time where there's nobody else in the house, we just leave, right? We just go, 45 minutes is up. We're out of here. We're not making entry to. So, I mean, the pepper spray.
Let me ask you,
like, come on, man. That's where I'm getting.
Does the old man inside of us, inside of you, the wise, I shouldn't say old, the wise man inside of you, the father with kids, does any part of you feel bad that that kid is mentally deranged and mentally ill and he's running around probably without a father getting,
how do I say this?
I feel bad for people like that. I really do.
Unfortunate that we have failed those people, because if they were told at a young age, like, there's boys and girls, that's all there is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to be a millionaire, man, too, really bad. I really did, but I can't take money to myself and call myself a millionaire, right? I can't change what I am. Yes, I do feel bad. I believe society and the country has failed the people. We allowed this to get too far. And I mean, I know the girl that pointed the other day, the basketball player.
Yeah.
She caught more hell for saying it was not right for biological men to play sports with women, and now it's all a problem again. Like, it's like nuts. So yeah, you always feel bad. Like you don't want to see anybody in that kind of crisis. But I believe the country and half the country that supports this has failed these people significantly. And who's left to take care of it? The fucking mean cops, right?
The police.
Yep, the catch-all.
Dominic.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you hear me coming through this?
Yes, but you can tell, like, you're a little further away from it, but it's fine.
Well, I just want to make sure you guys are hearing me clearly. That's all.
Beautifully.
Great, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. Fuck that kid. That guy's nuts.
Yo, Dominic, I was recently contacted by a page called Delete Laws.
Oh god.
And
yeah, hey.
you know, I talked to him. Mike and Vouch,
Yeah.
I could talk to him, and you know, he wants to collaborate. And he asked me, he's like, I don't think Dominic Izzo thinks very highly of me. And I said, Dominic Izzo's never trash talked you. He just said he doesn't agree with the fact that you don't really make it a goal to hold change policing. You don't seem to go. And he was like, oh, I do. I made these. He's got this thing called, and I'm going to go on his show, camera detention or something like that.
Okay.
Where you arrest someone and you tell them on camera that they are arrested and they are to follow you to the police station so that you don't have to handcuff people that are compliant. It's called like video detention or something. It's nuts.
Police are doing
But where
the police are
so
doing
yeah.
No, it's a lot like oh crap. I can't recall who has it. I think it is. I don't want to associate him with, so I'm not going to say it. There's a very well-known First Amendment auditor who has Legal Shield, that you get pulled over, you set your camera up, and you call your lawyer, and your lawyer kind of sits with you on the traffic stop, if you will. It sounds like it's one of those apps. Here's my thing with Chili DeCastro. I will trash talk him. As a human being, I think Chili DeCastro is a piece of shit. I do not like him as a human being. I think he is a brilliant man who has a lot to offer, the benefits of educating police. He just chooses not to. It is capitalism at its finest. I don't have a problem with how he makes his money. He's doing very well. He's got over 1 million followers on all of his platforms. Extremely well educated. There is no going to argue that he is trying to help law enforcement improve. If he was, we would see the aftermath. We would see him going up and attacking the police. Hey, pig. Hey, what dunce cap? Well, those are the two words he loves to say all the time. You pig. I'm a constitutional scholar. And then after the issue was over, he would say, listen, I want to have a conversation. I came at you aggressively for a specific reason, because I wanted to sit there if I could get your goat, and if I did, I want to make this a training point for my audience. And he would show how the sausage is made. Where Chili and I had an issue is that we did an over 2-hour podcast together in 2022, I think it was. And the second, he was very cordial. The second I brought up how asinine every politician who supported the barring of the rear naked choke was, he went off the rails, calling me bootlicker, I'll never change, all this, because I advocate for cops to use the rear naked choke as the safest single technique in all of history to take somebody to custody. I think Chili is he's a great source of knowledge. He's extremely educated. I think he's just a piece of shit human being.
So am I going to get ambushed when I go on there?
If you support police, of course you will, but you have to know what you're walking into. You should go on because it's great advertising. It's great a connection. You should, if you have the ability to stay very calm and focused, and you stand by what you say and you don't back down, there's nothing you can't do. I think he's disingenuous in his approach of, I want to change law enforcement. No, you don't. You have no desire to do it. So plus, not to mention the fact I love the video of him crying in court. He's such a big bad guy who tells everybody, I sue cops for a living. And then when he got sentenced, even though it got overturned, he was crying in court. Fuck him.
Okay. All right.
Well, and I was talking about it. I saw, and I watched some of his stuff, and you're right. Like, if you really wanted to make law enforcement change, I agree that the highlighting of the bad, but you can't just capitalize on all the bad things because you're just basically watching the bad continue and making money off of it. When do you step in and go, let's change this? Let's, even like Sean Reyes offering to go to agencies and educate them on the Constitution and the detention laws and the First Amendment. That's not his primary function, but he's willing to do it. I don't really know the guy. I've seen some of his stuff. I just
make your own judgments.
It's capitalism. You're never going to make money doing pro police. You're not going to be very popular amongst pro police because cops are cheap anyway. They're not going to spend money to watch you. But if you're anti-cop, those people will spend money to hate cops, and you're going to make more money doing it that way. So it's a capitalism at its finest. Like
yeah, he went to it was weird. I cut like a promo for the t-shirt line, had nothing to do with anti-era. And I was talking about how, like the essential podcasting model is going to die out because everybody's trying to be a podcast interviewer and just relying on guests, and had nothing to do with police work whatsoever. And he commented on it. And it was pretty like aggressive. And he's like, check your DM. So the person that runs the counterculture account was like, maybe message anti-era, but I saw what he put. It was pretty long and lengthy, and I don't air out DMs or texts, but it was definitely like, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. You're too scared. And I was like, I sent him a message back. Like, I was like, to be honest with you, dude, if we probably agree on at least half of the things you're saying, me and my co-host always break down and hold cops accountable that violate people's rights. So yeah, I mean, that was my plan is I'm going to go on a show and stand my ground and remain calm. And your goal is to, even if it's 10% of those viewers go, dude, this guy's pretty logical. Like, I'm anti-cop, but he's pretty logical.
Your goal in everything is education. That's what it is. But you can't, there's 3 E's in anything, right? You've got to engage, by entertaining, and then to educate. So ultimately speaking, it's like anytime we do podcasts or whatever, even in my content, right? You bash on female cops, you do all this stuff. Why? It's to educate people about what's going on. But unless you entertain people, you're never going to get their engagement. You can't go up and give a lecture on something, it's dry, whatever. So there has to be sensationalism. What I can't stand about Chili is he's the biggest waste of talent. He has so much potential to do a world of good in this profession. And every academy on the planet should be contracting Sean Paul Reyes, and they should have, but I don't ever endorse it, Chili DeCastro. But Chili DeCastro has proven time and time again that he does not have the mental fortitude to advocate for proper change. So, I will talk shit about him. Fuck him for being so talented, for being having so much potential and choosing to waste it. He is a dunce cap.
Well, I think, the bootlicker thing is always the first thing for anybody who supports the cops, right? I don't know what the term is, but for when you're always against the cops, like there is, you can't look at all of it and go, well, every contact is wrong. And a lot of those people refuse to acknowledge any good things the police do. And that's where it's like, even Steve's a great dude. Steve comes in my comments, but you'll never see Steve ever give a positive comment about anything. And I think Steve's an entertainment genius because the comment section always stays engaged with him, but he just sticks his ground that it's always wrong. There's never any right. And I guess some people, especially if you're making a ton of money, if he were to even turn the needle towards the middle a little bit, I believe he would lose maybe some of his people that go, you know what I'm saying?
Steve is brilliant. And that's the one thing that I had to make a decision on firsthand when I first started Cop Talk Live on YouTube. When I first started it, 2017, it was pure 100% closer. Yeah, well, I shelved it. I shelved it for years. I was doing a ton of content. Didn't touch it. It was all pro police. When I came back in March of last year, 2025, to start doing it again, it was very negative police, right? It was coming back going, I can't believe what's going on, blah, blah. The day that I did my first pro support of a police shooting, it was the 17-year-old autistic young man who had a knife behind a chain link fence. I could not believe how my audience turned against me, but I sat there and said, I don't give a shit. I have to be the person that is down the middle, will call balls and strikes. This was great. This was bad. And people like Steve, again, you and I go back to Steve all the time. I think he's the most consistent representative of what the peanut gallery is, because Steve will even go, I don't like what you just posted. I don't agree with you, but X, Y, and Z. He doesn't get personal. So that was the biggest decision I had to make was my channel probably could be a lot bigger if I was 100% anti-cop, but I have to throw it in with, hey, you guys may not like this shit, but this is about why this was a lawful shoot or lawful use of force. And a lot of people fucking hate it, but I don't care. My goal is to educate, not entertain.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes our conversations. I messaged you about this morning, Dominic, but I don't know if you saw it. I think it was like right before the show, but we talk about things like what's right, what's legal. Like, we broke down like a guy with a snow shovel that got shot or whatever. And then there's this one right here. And you're talking about someone that's confident in their abilities, looking at someone that is probably not capable of doing anything. But this is what I'm talking about. This is, to me, is good cop work. Once it works. He just saved that chick's life, dude. Because I believe all day he would have been justified in a court of law plugging her.
100%. And this is the bad of this circumstance. That was Chicago Police Department. That's phenomenal. Well done. It's the totality of the circumstances, right? Here you have a cop, and what's he going to do? He can articulate in a report. The subject was, I knew them to be female, weaker than me, all of this, blah, 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 goes in, grabs a shovel. But on the baseline of that circumstance, you have subject, armed, weapon. And the problem that people don't seem to understand is you're going to get cops who are like, and they're never going to say it, right? I would have drilled or I would have done this. Because they're looking for the simplest, most common denominator that is easy that they can all get away with. Hey, I'm going to shoot her. Don't train me any new tactic where I have to go up and grab a shovel with one hand and the other hand, push, twist, pull, all this. So that's the one thing I can't stand with people, especially who they don't know, which is most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, which is use of force, is that cops are absolutely protected under the whole concept of objectively reasonableness in using deadly force at some of the most easiest of circumstances. And when you keep putting in more and more shitty, inept candidates, you're going to have the landscape change where we're not going to have big, bad, tough cops like that anymore that are justified and going, hey, I'm going to put my hands on and rip the shovel up. We're going to have people go, no, shooting them is 100% justified, and it's going to be the new standard that citizens will accept. So you put any one of the females that I post every single day in that same circumstance, have them shoot that woman, and not an eye will bat about it whatsoever. You put any three of us in there, it's a 5'3", 100-pound female with a shovel, and we shoot her, we're fucked.
Yeah,
we're fucked.
Yeah.
So
you look at Bruno up in Jersey. He's a dude the same size as him with a fucking baseball bat.
Wow.
And not half the fucking cops in America fucking turn their back on the guy and shit all over him. And
what happened yesterday? But what happened yesterday?
Which one?
What video is going around now? Right?
Yeah, we watched it.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And you can see all those cops. Well done. Well done. Well, my argument would be, well, the guy's already incapacitated or dead, so why should the cop have shot him in the first place? Why couldn't he just bum rush him and tackle him like all of you fucks said during Bruno? See, this is why I can't stand cops either, because they pick and choose their battles.
The Bruno, you're right. You put those two videos together, and what Bruno did stopped that next action, which is one of the cops getting their skull bashed in or an innocent person. So prior to that happening, Bruno took the appropriate action to stop that next step ahead of time, and everybody had a problem with it. But when it's already in action, oh God, kill him. So you're right. It's I talked to Bruno this morning, man. I talk to that guy regularly. I feel terrible for him. And
well, that video not only does a world for good for him, but that video is one of the most important videos going around for law enforcement right now. And I've got a ton of content lined up on it. It is going to make such a fucking difference how important social media affects cops based on that video alone.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's amazing that's what happens with cops is they don't see that next step. They stop it at that. Well, he shot him before he didn't. Well, he didn't shoot him before he did anything, but he was in the process of it leading to that. And I get you can't just go, well, there's a gun 3 doors down in the back dresser. I thought he was going to go get it. Like that's you can't stretch that. But a guy actively doing all those things for 8 minutes with a bat and then takes an aggressive stance, it's like it's all there. I just don't understand it. And you're right. This could have been the same scenario, and you don't shoot him right away. He turns around, starts beating the shit out of a civilian. Now you have a dead civilian or a severely incapacitated civilian, and everybody's going to go, you fucking should have shot him 2 minutes ago when he was fucking raising the bat over there. That's what they would say. But
100%.
Exactly.
Those same cops are the ones who have justified somebody taking a boxing stance and you shooting and killing them because what if? So yeah, use of force is one of the most dynamic things out there. If done, practiced, and studied right, it could be so beautifully defended for law enforcement. The cops are their own worst enemies when it comes down to advocating for it.
And I also say, like, your location, unfortunately, you talk about nationalizing police a lot, and your location determines the outcome. We had the girls in Miami. We haven't even talked about it ever again. The girl shot the unarmed guy in the back in Miami. 5 female officers. That's gone, dude. That is absolutely gone. It never happened. There's no problem with it. And then you got Sal Eldradi sitting in, 1,157 days. He's been indicted for a clear, perfect shooting. And because he's standing in New Jersey and Bruno's standing in New Jersey and the other guy up with the machete up there, they're standing in a place where they don't support the police. They're all indicted. And then you got 5 chicks in Miami that blast a dude in the back unarmed, and they're completely fine.
I think federalizing police might be a good thing. Either that or just actually eradicating. Either that or eradicating all municipalities and going solely to sheriffs.
Joanna said federal standards. Like, because you know what I'm saying? How can a cop in Jersey encounter a guy with a gun and it's indicted? And then in Florida, you can fucking pretty much shoot anybody. Anybody that looks like they might have a gun. In Florida, it's going down and you're not going to get indicted.
Yeah. We're screwed.
Yes.
It's clearly the answer to save law enforcement is to do more faux mock. My Netflix special series is about to premiere. And
I'm going to make one later. You want to be in it with me? You can help me.
Oh, okay. Give me a key grip position. I'll get your coffee.
Hey, Dominic, do you want to stay on while we? I don't know if you've ever formally met Ryan, the Marine communist.
No, I'll stay. I'm sure.
All right, I want you guys to meet. Let him be done doing his medicine. There we go. Ryan, what's up, man?
Good morning, comrades. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here. Really glad to be present and in community with my fellow landless rent peasants. And thank you. What are we talking about? Good to meet you, Dominic. Thank you for your work.
You too. Appreciate you.
And I think to fix policing in the United States, we need to increase social services. We need to have access to living wages and dignified employment. We need to have access to housing, healthcare, and this would, help alleviate a lot of the working class and poverty class pressures that inform tension in our streets.
What are you doing to progress that?
I work in community mental health on San Francisco's 6th Street. And so I'm directly working with the most impoverished community in that is surviving engineered inequality in the city of San Francisco.
And what are some of the main challenges you see?
So income inequality. San Francisco has some of the richest people in the country. I think we have about 12 billionaires that live here. And so all of their political power that comes from that, which we call, what's the opposite of grass? Like turf, right? where they try to have perceptions of grassroots, but it's really like astroturf, billionaire sort of desires that gets perpetrated in our news and in our system. And so one thing I'll share with you specifically is in San Francisco, we had a policy where new housing construction had to have 15% of it low-income housing, right? Under market rate housing. And so San Francisco does have the highest rents in the entire country. And the city of San Francisco, in their infinite wisdom, reduced that quota from 15% to 5%.
Have you been able to house anybody? Like, have you have anybody directly in your care that has needed subsidized housing or any type of Section 8 or anything, and you've been able to put them in that position to see them the effect of it on them?
My entire caseload are people that lived in subsidized housing, and so
What progression? Has there been any length of time? Meaning, you got somebody who was in a circumstance, didn't have a job, drug addiction, came from some kind of background, and then they had an opportunity. Has there been any level of measurable progression between the day when you got them that housing and any type of effects that you've seen from them since?
Absolutely, and that's why housing first is the evidence-based practice.
What are some examples that you've seen of a progression of people getting stuff? Here's my question. I'm not trying to get you on a gotcha. Everyone should know that when you get stuff or handouts for free, the character, one of the biggest things, and there's everything that you say, and I've heard your stuff before. It's awesome. I don't know what I identify as, liberal or conservative. I know that conservatives are some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet, right? But liberals have some idiot ideology. And I think that there's a lot of things out there that are fantastic. Free healthcare, 100%. I grew up with my father in the grocery business. He ran grocery stores forever. And he would get so pissed off because I know it's law, day-old milk or day-old bread you have to throw out. You cannot donate day-old bread. You can't donate day-old milk, because if somebody eats a loaf of bread that's expired after a day or a gallon of milk, they'll get sick. They can sue the company, right? So instead of feeding the homeless, which we could do instantly, our government steps in on that. I think free healthcare, free education, all of that is a phenomenal idea. But then I'm like, well, who's going to pay for it? What I do know from being a business owner, and I've seen this in practical application, I owned a gym for several years, and I was very passionate about what I taught. What I taught was so important to me that I had two groups of students, those who could pay, those who couldn't pay. And I taught them the exact same with the exact same patients. Those who could pay were my best students. They saw value in what I did. They paid tuition. They were the ones that the skill was evident on them, and I was very proud to have them wear my name on their backs when they represented me. The ones who couldn't pay, man, I can't pay this month. Come on in, blah, 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 blah. Their skill set was in the toilet because they took advantage, and by human nature, they don't have to work for it. So ultimately speaking, you work with people from the Section 8 homes or whatever it is called now. I did too. It was always, not sometimes, always the case. Anytime you have someone that gets something without having to work for it, it does not have value in their eyes, and they take advantage of it, and shit goes downhill. So what I'm asking specifically is, even if it's one case, have you seen anybody gone from rags to riches? They were in a shit situation. You gave them an opportunity. They're no longer on drugs. They're a model citizen. They've climbed all the way up to the corporate ladder. Or is it still people who feed you the handful of bullshit excuses every single day because they pull on your compassionate heartstrings? I mean, does that make sense?
Thank you for the question. I think that, yes, the rags to riches is definitely part of like the American dream in a lot of ways. And this is why a lot of us have joined the military, part of the socioeconomic poverty draft, to go from rags, get the GI Bill, get the job training, get things like this, get socialism, basically, so that we can pursue riches. This was my case, my hope, and I know I'm not alone. And so I think we do have to examine that the mythology of upward social mobility is just that. We have more social caste and not as much social class. And so this idea of like people don't sort of take advantage of things unless they have, you know, sort of a buy-in, like skin in the game, right? I think that's curious, and I wonder how you sort of frame this in the context of, you know, the 2018 bank bailouts and the fact that corporate.
I'm not.
Hold on,
I don't
Dominic,
mean
let me
to.
finish, bro. Please,
Run.
I didn't interrupt you.
You're right.
Corporate welfare vastly exceeds social welfare in the United States. So where's your take on this unearned income?
It's deflection. You can't answer the question. I appreciate that. The bottom line is, if you gave me a car, I would. Okay, I drive it. This and that. If I had to buy $100,000 plus car, I would baby the shit out of that. Wash it every day. It's value. It's perceived value, and that's an inherent, innate human quality. You cannot remove a socialism. It's very simple. People operate, especially males. This is a very big reason for the downfall of society with males as well out there too. We stopped having our boys earn things. I don't know how old you are. I watched the whole participation award, trophy award with sports ruin our masculine men. Our men don't earn things, don't fight things. We have a very unhealthy male society mentally and physically. So ultimately, and I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just saying you give a canned answer, which is safe, right? And that's an us against them mentality. Believe it or not, I agree with a lot of what you say, but for the most part, you specifically are boots on the ground, dealing with everyday real cases, but you feed the narrative of a generalization that pulls on the heartstrings of people that don't see how the sausage is made. Bottom line, you give people shit for free, they're always going to take advantage of it, and they're never going to improve anything. And I wanted to know if you have any specific measurable cases of where you've seen someone turn their life around because they were given an opportunity versus how many people suck off the government teat and take advantage of the situation.
No one sucks on the government teat more than private contractors, more than so-called entrepreneurs. So let's be real, right? And I noticed how you didn't answer that question, right? What is the value of nepotism and the oligarchy where born into wealth and you're just the investor class, never have to work a day in your life? And these are the people that run the country, comrade. And so, yes, what I will say, though, about 6th Street in San Francisco was built after the 1906 earthquake. And it was built for low-income people, people that worked on the ships in the ports, and low-income senior citizens, day laborers. It was not built for long-term residency, which is what it's being used for now, where people live in these cells where you can touch both walls, and you have to use a community bathroom to be able to pee, or, right, a lot of the elevators don't work, and people with like amputees from diabetes have to crawl up and down stairs, right, just to like lay their head. And so this is not really free handouts, or really this is marginalized housing, right, where it's not exactly like dignified living, it's inadequate housing.
Do they pay rent or any type of rental space?
A third of their income, yes, sir.
Okay. Again, you'd make a great politician or a great pharmaceutical rep that is massively talking about the symptoms that should terrify everyone without any curable case whatsoever. It's a very simple question. What do you think the ratio is? If you have 100 people that you're working cases wise, what is the percentage of those who have benefited from what your service offers? And then what is your opinion? Because your compassion, your love for these people, it should not be brushed under the carpet. It should be recognized, but you can also be taken advantage of, right? So what percentage of them has said, my God, thank you for helping me, and then you've seen a measurable improvement in the quality of their contribution to lives and others versus how many people sitting back and just taking advantage of you? Have you had any personal experience with that?
Substantial, tremendous. And this is why I'm so underpaid, and why I like risk my life literally to help these folks, right? Because
so that's a great question. I'm talking about you are compassionate, you are caring, you're articulate, You clearly care about something, but you're underpaid. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't eat for a week, but you want to feed others, your body is not going to have the strength in order to go out and make the dinner or even shop, let alone for those people, right? So here's you. You are advocating a voice, you're on podcasts, you're doing all this, and you are underpaid. Do you think that your work ethic, and your contributions have value? And if so, do you think that you should be compensated for the sale of those, or do you just donate your time? And if so, do you think that's a problem?
Living wages is the conversation we need to have. Profit is unpaid wages, and labor exploitation is the bedrock of capitalism. So absolutely, there is a delta, there is a gap in the value of my labor and my wages, right?
How tall are you?
How tall I am?
How tall are
70
you?
inches.
No, how tall are you? Legitimately.
5'10",
You're taller than me. How much do you weigh?
218 pounds.
Okay, I outweigh you. How old are you?
46.
Okay, you're younger than me. If you and I have the exact same bare base income, right, food allowance, if you will, and that's it, and we are only allowed 2 pieces of bread and a glass of milk per day, that will sustain me. But you're younger, you're bigger, you burn more energy, and you work harder. You need 2 glasses of milk, 4 pieces of bread, but the government says, hey, with your money, you only get a living wage. You do not get any profit to spend any excess how you feel you should. Do you think that is right?
I don't think it's right that we are limited to 2 slices of bread when
But that's what it is, right? Livable wage.
On the other side of town, right here.
Forget about them. Nothing's ever going to change, right? Let's change our mindset first, right? Let's change the boots on the ground. What we could do. Why not?
That is
Why?
Learned helplessness. Forget about these billionaires. Forget about the Epstein list. Forget about these forever wars for the benefit of the Zionists and the military-industrial complex, because that's never going to change. Right?
So if you're stranded on a desert island, fuck learning how to fish and hunt. You want the billionaires to come in and bail you out, right? I just learned helplessness. I don't need to learn how to adapt to the circumstance.
These, like, the creativity of your hypotheticals is remarkable.
But they apply, correct?
I don't live on a desert island. I live in San Francisco.
No, but people live in shit poverty, correct?
Where do you live, Dominic?
I live in Chicago, and I split my time between Sacramento and Chicago.
Chicago has a lot of similarities in
terms
of
garbage and shit. Yes.
Gentrification, redlining, right? Outcomes of engineered inequality. Okay.
And what happened to those people? So I worked, the police department I worked for got a bunch of the people who were relocated from the Cabrini Green housing projects. Have you heard of those, Cabrini Green?
I've seen the
movie Candyman.
Candyman. Yeah.
Candyman, right. Well, so if you go down to where Cabrini Green was now, it's like, damn, you could walk at night. Those people who moved up to our area were some of the biggest problems that we had, right? But they were given almost next to nothing on the apartment complex that they were given. It was called Cedar Villas. If you went in through Cedar Villas, you would see every single door had dent marks on them from search warrants that we had to serve or doors we had to kick in. And that was the place in town you didn't want to go to. So is it nurturing, nature, society, culture? You've got some great solutions. You really do. But the one thing that you personally refuse to acknowledge is not everybody thinks like you or me, and they have individual viewpoints, and culture significantly has a hold on them, right? The black community will never agree with you. The Asian community will never agree with you, right? There's always that. So ultimately speaking, the one thing that is going to be the downfall of your argument, my argument, anybody else's, is human nature and human behavior. You just can't stop it, no matter how good your intents or solutions are.
I think that we sort of oversimplify human nature. We allow colonial and histories of conquest to inform what we believe is human nature.
Brother, until you have a solution for how to stop human hunger, lust, greed, any of those things, until you can plant a chip in people's heads that says, hey, men They're going to stop raping because of their lust issues, or people are going to stop robbing because of they want X, Y, and Z. Until you put a cap on that, none of your solutions are ever going to work.
I have solutions. The solution is eliminate billionaires, right? You reach 999 million, you've won capitalism. And everything that's earned beyond that is redistributed
I have a question. Like that theory, is that just like ideally, or is that like a reality in a communist mind that we could ever get rid of billionaires? Like it obviously, I really think you're smart. I know you know that's would probably practically never happen. So is it more just like what's that?
Ask Luigi.
Well, he just killed
Yeah,
a guy.
you can't have
He's gonna-
people, yeah.
He's just killed a guy, and then he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Sam Altman has had 2 Molotov cocktails thrown at his home in San Francisco in this year. I'm not advocating violence.
My bad. So you mean eliminate? I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but could it be said that when someone says eliminate billionaires, they mean kill them, not just get rid of, not just like legally sanction them to not have $1 billion. We're talking like killing them.
I would say like part of it is the work we're doing here, right? To sort of take wealth off of its pedestal. You know, we grew up on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Cribs, right? These sort of propaganda films that made ostentatious wealth some sort of like aspirational value, right? Rags to riches, my guy Dominic mentioned. And I think we have to take that off its pedestal. We have to acknowledge that this is actually greed, and this is wealth and property hoarding,
which
and
exactly proves what I said. You're defining human behavior. You're defining human behavior.
Hey, bro,
Yeah.
like we've had a respectful conversation. I didn't interrupt you one time, my man. So please, like, if we're
I
gonna
know,
continue
keep
this
airing
conversation,
yourself.
like,
Go
I'll
ahead.
excuse myself, bro. If this is how it's gonna be, like, I don't need to like. I'm here to help. I'm unpaid labor.
Well, careful, because what if we're in a socialist society and you've got 3 loaves of bread and you face someone like me who can take them from you? You're going to talk your way out of it? These are problems. Everything you're just describing is literally stands the responsibility of you putting onus on the fundamental human behavior out there. You want to blame advertisers for recognizing that we as human beings are knee-jerk reaction slobs who will do whatever they say? How about having us saying, hey, have some self-pride, educate yourselves better, and don't fall for every trap that the media puts in front of you? I haven't heard you accept or advocate for personal responsibility yet.
Just pausing to make sure that you are complete.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's absolutely, and this is what I do in my work. I practice liberation psychology. So I look at the political, the historical, the economic, the cultural factors that create individual outcomes. And then I also look at individual choices. And for some people, I help them disentangle guilt and shame. And I point their personal like guilt towards actually this is a political, social, historical, economic system that created your specific outcome. And there's folks where that do kind of point to the external, these external forces, and maybe avoid personal responsibility. And that is my work, to develop the relationship and help folks discern between what is their personal responsibility and what is a systemic thing. And so the question, I think, comrade, is what is the collective responsibility to one another, right? Do people that are unhoused deserve felonies for living on the street? Do they deserve all this homeless architecture of spikes in park benches and all the anti-poverty architecture that's out there? Like, what do poor people deserve in this country, Dominic?
Yeah, but we agree on that. I don't think that homeless people should be given felonies for putting on a park bench, and I don't think anybody's ever done that. If they did that, you're right. That's stupid. That's it. But where is the onus? Hey, dummy, don't sleep on the street. Chicago, we had a I don't know, winter vortex. I think it was maybe 2019 or something, and they had an additional like 400 beds set up for the homeless people in Chicago. 3. The news reported that 3 people took them up. You can create the most ingenious system on the planet. You have to acknowledge. And I'm telling you, if you don't acknowledge this because you've seen it in San Francisco, then I am calling you a liar. People, doesn't matter how much opportunity you will give them. I'm going to give you a shave. a haircut, an education, train you. Hey, I've got a trades job lined up for you. You're good at math. I've got an accountant's line job lined up for you. I'm going to get you in this door, blah, blah. How many times have you personally set someone on the path to taking the first step to bettering their lives, and they don't even fucking show up for the interview the next day? If you can't acknowledge that, then everything you're arguing with, which I support, is nothing more than political theater, and you are part of the problem.
I think that, yes, I have my own moral injury for participating in the nonprofit industrial complex that does try to provide therapeutic services to folks where actually like revolution would benefit their outcomes better than me helping folks feel better about their systemic inequality and their engineered poverty. And
that's not what I asked. Does
it
hurt? Does it hurt when you bust your ass as high as you do? When you take the criticism from the comment section of this podcast every week and out to come on this podcast every week takes some serious balls. When you know that you're criticized, you put your fucking heart and soul out there every day. Does it hurt when you offer somebody an opportunity to improve themselves? They spit in your face, they don't show up anything, and then you have to come on the next week and go, well, it's about the socioeconomic imbalance of billionaires. Instead of saying, this motherfucker hurt because I worked with this guy for 12 weeks and he stuck it up my ass when he didn't show up, when I vouched for him for a job interview or housing. Does the humanity of you ever acknowledge that sometimes people fucking suck and the system will never change because they will never change?
I think the system sucks more than people, and I practice soft on people, tough on systems. And yes, no shows is a big sort of phenomenon in our population. And there's even white paper, there's evidence-based science, contingency management programs to help folks engage, right? And man, I know when I'm in my own mental health challenges, I don't respond to text messages. I don't answer my phone. People knock on my door, I'm not answering it. So like, we have to acknowledge that there are serious mental health challenges that do.
We agree. And that's a problem with the generation that you came after. I was beat. I have a very loveless, it is. My generation was raised by Dr. Spock, and we had very heavy-handed parents. You cannot be soft. You cannot be soft on those participating in the system when the system is designed for them to fail. The fact and what you just said is the primary reason why we fail. We lead with compassion instead of preparation for people to go to a proverbial war every day in a society that God has it out for them. Your love, your compassion will set people up for failure, and they will never succeed because you're not tough enough on them.
Hey, man, I agree with you that this system is designed for poor and working class people to fail. This system is designed for property owners, billionaires to extract everything that they can. It's not Reagan's trickle-down neoliberal economics. It's a siphoning up
the 80s
from the bottom. Yo, my guy, I have not interrupted you one time.
Go ahead.
I think this is probably a good place to pause. You know, I'm so glad.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, we have a couple minutes left. If Dominic, if you wouldn't mind, he has.
I'll jump off. Ryan, it was good. It was good to talk to you. You got to. I appreciate you, but hopefully someday, you know, you'll wake up. So you guys, be good.
Yeah, the guy with the status quo, the empire's narrative, the middle-aged white guy is so woke and so just aware. Thanks, dude, for your insights.
Well, so I don't want to say apologies because you're a good debater. He's a good debater, but we didn't really get to have you come on, and there was a time issue, so we were like, oh, let's just have them come on. But I wanted to say this whole time. Today, I realized half my. Oh, Mike, he can't hear you.
I gotta go out.
No, it's just when we interrupt each other, it's hard to.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, I just realized today, half my paycheck goes to health insurance for my family. That is infuriating. When you don't have some kind of retirement or government assistance, to get, if you don't qualify for government assistance and you're stuck in this weird, like, you're not poor enough, but you're not, I don't want to say lucky, because people that earn health insurance out of retirement, I do believe deserve it. They earned it. But I'm in a weird conundrum with a lot of people. I have to pay for private health insurance in order to make sure my kids can go to the doctor. It is half of my paycheck every month. Like one paycheck for 2 paychecks for what I do.
Yep.
This media goes right to health insurance.
I agree that people's health should have never been part of capitalism. Making money off of the downfall, drugs, cancer drugs, like all those things that they put money, insulin, things to keep humans alive should never been allowed. And one thing I was thinking that whole time you guys were going back and forth was you said the 2018, but what about the 2008, 2009 bailouts that saved all those companies? We spent, I think, Fannie Mae got $90 billion. Bank of America got $100 billion. If they would have failed, the only repercussion would have been a bunch of Americans would have had a free house. We couldn't let that happen, right? We weren't going to let the banks fail. So the government spent like $700 billion to bail out car companies, banks. AIG got money, and everyday Americans fail all the time. We fail, and you live on 6th Street in San Francisco or do the Fent Walk and all that. And some of that is our own choices. Some of that is lack of resources. And it shows me that the billionaires are more important. Nobody with that kind of connection to a government like Obama or George Bush was going to go, hey, I'm going under. My entire billions and billions are going under. They said, no, we're going to bail you out. We're going to make sure you stay alive. And what really, like I said, the only repercussion from like Bank of America going down may have been some light savings, but it would have been millions of houses would have had no mortgage. But I'll take a free house, right? So it's proof that there is a certain level you get to, you achieve a status in this country where you can't fail. You can't fail. They won't let you fail because of politics and government, and that 1% club is never going to let a member fall out of graces. I mean, some argue Epstein might still be alive, right? He was part of that 1% group, and he disappears out of a prison and hung himself. So I do agree with you that unfortunately the average citizen can die on the street and nobody really cares, but the 1%ers will not allow themselves to go down. So,
Michael, I really appreciate this generous conception, right? Because most folks that are capitalists or anti-communists won't acknowledge any of the cracks in this sort of Fabergé egg of the bourgeoisie. And so I really just appreciate that, because we can like work with that, right? We can keep dropping little drops of water to help kind of that grow. Because yeah, Tyler, you're onto something, right? Why do we pay so much in our income taxes? Why do we pay so much for healthcare? When look up how much Bezos paid in taxes, right? These billionaires give themselves $1 salaries, so they have no tax liability, and they grant themselves stocks, right? And so we have like no capital gains taxes, which is how the wealthy stay wealthy. And why, right? We pay for everything. And so there's this idea of like socialism for the rich, which is basically what you were just describing, and brutal capitalism for the poor. Yeah. But actually, this is really just capitalism. This is just how it's designed to.
Yeah, I don't know that I could concede like money all the way. I would concede healthcare 100%. There's nobody should suffer and not have to worry that I can't go to I have a horrible cough. I feel sick. My kidneys are hurting, but I can't afford to go get help. That's mind-boggling that we're living in a country where that is an option. So that when you get into like wages and hard work, that's where I think Dominic, I go a little bit with him, that if you give people too much, they're going to, by nature, people are not they don't have good intentions, a lot of people, so they will take advantage of the system. But healthcare, I can separate healthcare completely and say no one should have to worry about going to get healthcare and get taken care of. That's ridiculous.
Love that. And I agree with you, right? We should not be giving people too much. And the people that are receiving too much, which we really need to focus on, are the trillionaires now and billionaires. It's not this poor, poverty class person that's getting $600 a month from the city and county of San Francisco. And I think we're down to like $200 in EBT now. So poor people can only have $200 a month for food, right? Like Dominic was talking about, restaurants have to destroy food. I think we destroy about 40% of our food in the United States. So there's so much waste, right? So much fraud, so much abuse that all benefits the top. And so hopefully we can have more respectful conversations where we allow each other to be heard, and we can, disentangle and disrupt a lot of the empire's McCarthyist Red Scare propaganda that misinformed poor and working class people to demonize policies that benefit poor and working class people.
Yeah, and I think we can, like I said, we can take our small steps. I'll get there with you on healthcare. It's just I'm sure Tyler is too. We're more jaded by what we've seen in the police world from places where people are given a lot of benefits and a lot of opportunities. And I'm not getting into the housing. I understand the housing side of it and all that stuff too, but you're just going to have to deal with the fact that we're so jaded in that area that we've seen people with massive amounts of free income and free things that choose to take advantage of them and not actually use them what they're for. I mean, like I said, there's a common thing in the lower class neighborhood where you'll go to a store and you'll ring up a candy bar and they'll give you cash back like $1,000, whatever your EBT card was worth. They'll do like cash transactions, ring up fake. So there's a lot of fraud that goes on in there, but I will concede on healthcare. There is no one should suffer 100.
Yeah, and I appreciate these things, and I'll agree with you, right, that they do occur, right? Poor and poverty class people have to get creative to meet our basic needs, right? But I want to just acknowledge, and hopefully we can acknowledge that, street level crime and so-called fraud is like a drop in the bucket in comparison to corporate fraud, government fraud, corruption, white collar crime. And the system, I think that you're talking about, the particular mechanism that makes all this possible is called Citizens United. And it basically granted corporate personhood where corporations can contribute unlimited to political campaigns. And
I agree. And across the board, I'll concede that those type of crimes are always harder. That goes right into like child sex trafficking because it's difficult to investigate. And often we picked what it was the dumbest thing. I used to hate this guy say, but we picked the low hanging fruit, right? The easiest arrest to make are drug arrests on the street, investigate little small crimes, drug crimes, shoplift. We tend to, because it's so complex, to avoid those large scale fraud schemes and hedge funds and all those things that are really, really bad. And then trafficking of children and all that stuff tend to get ignored because it's just more difficult to investigate. And I think we don't do a good enough job with that. And I think that trickles down to, we know these millionaires are doing all these things, but it's really difficult to get in their circle because they have so much protection and there's so many loopholes for them that the poor stay poor, and we continue to, pad our stats per se with arrest numbers in an easier crime to investigate. It's harder to investigate that fraud type stuff on the high level because there's also protection. They all have friends in politics. It is. I'll give you that. It's a club, and if you're in that club, you're pretty well protected from failing. They're going to all protect each other. So
the Sacklers are still rich and free, right? Let's remember Oliver North and Iran-Contra. Let's remember that Southern California officer that uplifted how the CIA invented crack and distributed it in Southern California as a specific way to target populations for mass incarceration. Let's acknowledge Afghanistan and Operation Enduring Freedom. That was a 20-year American heroin colony. To really acknowledge that the United States is probably among the biggest dope dealers, right? The Iron River is American weapons that flow into Mexico to the so-called cartels. And so, but yeah, let's demonize the poor person that's in the fentanyl fold because they had horrific trauma in their childhood and they're self-medicating, right? Rich people avoid a lot of the systemic traumas and they have resources, rehabs, therapy to help them process trauma that a lot of our community on the street self-medicates through street drugs.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Ryan, one thing I want to do is say, you know me. I'm very upfront with you. I did not want you to. I wish I would have given you some a couple hours notice. Like, hey, there might be a debatable style thing going on today. Dominic's very knowledgeable, like you, and so
You're being
knowing you're
being
walking in.
socialist to Ryan right now.
I should have told you to bring
you
a
are.
shield.
Yo, I'm open to it. I never know what to expect on this ride, and I'm just glad to be on it. And I think the dude is smart, and he has a background in mass incarceration, and so I think we could have some good conversations if we hold it in a container. But I do want to acknowledge, right? We're talking about the same topic: people getting free handouts, and he described it as a deflection when I was pointing us towards corporate welfare, which vastly exceeds social welfare. And he didn't respond to it, and he described it as a deflection. When no, this is the same thing. It's just the other side of the coin that you refuse to look at.
I agree. I believe the bailouts on the corporate side far exceed, I believe, the money that's been given to, everyday Americans by a lot.
I will say this too: when you're broke, you start looking at things a little differently. Like I never, healthcare was healthcare. We always paid it, taxes, healthcare, this, that, and the other thing. Then when you got no money, you start going, what the fuck? Wait,
I gotta pay for
what?
this? Yeah.
Yeah, like your kids can't go to the doctor. Then you're like, my kids can't eat. What are you talking about? Like, we have to budget. Like, you have to tell your kids, like, hey, we have to eat this, and it's like, that was never in my life. I never had to do it.
Yeah, the words "I can't afford the medicine" should never be uttered by an American or anybody, honestly. And honestly, we make fun of it. You make fun of me wanting to go to Thailand and all these other places, but they have the most excellent healthcare system. They call them third world countries, but for $50 a month, you'll get tip-top healthcare because they made that a priority from the start. So there's no reason an American should utter the words, "I can't afford that drug. I can't afford that procedure." That should be pretty obvious that we should take care of that for people.
And let's acknowledge that more Americans are retiring in Vietnam because they can't afford to in the United States. They call themselves the racist and classist term of expat instead of immigrant or refugee, because we're different. We're not them, right? And I just want to acknowledge, right? In the wealthiest country in the world, we have elders, right? Seniors, probably the most precious part of our culture, eating cat food so that they can afford their prescriptions.
Well, if you're here in Indian River County and you're eating cat food and you go to Target and grab a couple $100, $100 worth of groceries, the cops will arrest you even at 90 years old. So that shows you that there's a problem, right? Like, we can't take care of our elderly, and that actually happened here in this county where an elderly woman was arrested for taking food who had no food available, and that seems a little extreme to me as well. So
taken to jail.
Yep, taken to jail.
And it's interesting, right? That outside of nearly every grocery store that I've been to here in San Francisco, there's a cop car right out front, and there's an officer right at the door. The Apple store, also, same thing. They put their big RV command center right in front of the Apple store. And so think about this, right? We're not trying so hard to disrupt this Epstein list and hold these people accountable. Sacklers are free, like we just discussed. But hey, poor person, if you steal a loaf of bread just to be able to eat and survive the day, hammer.
God forbid you grab that iPhone that's marked up 390%, 300,000%, that costs like 87 cents in China to be made, and you steal it. We're going to make sure you go to jail, right? You're going.
So in closing, thank you for inviting me to be here. Look forward to next week, and the comment section especially. I will just say there's a California rapper named Bamboo. He's also a Navy veteran, and he's made a song about, if you see anybody stealing food, no, you didn't.
All right, Ryan. Hey, thank you for your contribution. You were right on that. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
Much love. Thank you.
Later. Man, it took us right up to the end.
Yeah. Here we are.
It was good, man. Watching them two debate was good.
Yeah, I mean,
I think me and you being hosts, it's our business. It is literally our business. We have to not be we can't always be the other side. So when Ryan comes on, most of the time he's hit with zero opposition. And so did not know that the debate was going to happen.
No, that was good. I mean, that's unplanned. I mean, you're right. Like the chat is really the opposition at this point, and we can't. The guy's going to be a regular contributor. I wouldn't want to show up if I know that Mike or Tyler's going to scream at me for 20 minutes. I think we're fair though. We debate. We get into it, and I think that was an excellent debate. Him and I think Dominic has enough patience. Even though he did interrupt a few times, it is what it is. But he has enough patience to listen. Dominic will debate anybody. Obviously, Ryan will. So that's always a good time. That would be I guess G Money
very wise.
last week. I didn't see it. So
what'd you say?
I didn't see G Money and him go at it last week.
They didn't. G Money. I said to he was host, and I said as a host, you have to play neutral. This isn't a you versus him, and so. And then, G Money's sitting there essentially with his metaphorical hands tied to his chair, just fucking taking hits. Because Ryan got personal with him. Started challenging him his fatherhood
Whoa.
Yes. I think Ryan wasn't used to G Money being handcuffed, metaphorically. And so Ryan came out swinging, and G Money had to
take advantage of the situation, huh?
Yeah. So. But I appreciate G Money honoring my request to stay neutral and act as a host, and he did. So, FFD. Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, first time. I was gonna read it. Go ahead.
First time catching a live. Great show, you guys. Hopefully, the new schedule I can catch more. Hell yeah, man! Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. We appreciate it.
Get to know all these guys in here, man. If you know anything about Discord, which I didn't until last month, these guys will walk you through, man. It's a good community. We call it the 99%. Probably heard me say it a million times, but it's good to see you in the live, man. We're trying to get more people in the live so we can engage more. That's the whole point of the show, is audience participation and engagement. It's always good when the comments are rolling through so fast I can't even keep up with putting them on the screen. So appreciate all of you guys. Just remember, we go live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel for whatever reason, please do subscribe. But tonight, on the Counterculture Inc. Network, we have Counterculture Live at 8 o'clock with me. I'll figure out the theme here in about an hour. Also, a lot of audience participation. So
later, get in there.
Noah, I'll sign up. Yeah, man. These guys are all in the Discord. Discord's completely free. It's like the Discord. Then if you want to know more, you move up to the Patreon. If you want to be part of the OG Council, which is where we essentially use it as a board of advisors. Anytime we kind of make a business decision, we hit these guys up. We have a meeting, a non-recorded meeting, get their take on it. It's always good to have a controlled group of people that will tell you straight up if something sucks or it's a bad idea. I'm usually the ones with good ideas. Mike does not have the best ones, but sometimes he contributes. Eliminate billionaires so millionaires are now the new villains.
Then we eliminate the millionaires.
And I didn't know this. I didn't know he was talking about like killing them, because my innocent brain was like, how would this logically work? You put sanctions on people, they would move their money around, they would still be billionaires, they would just move it around. And he was like, well, we have Mario. I'm like, oh shit, you're talking about killing people. Okay,
can't do that.
No, I can't do that. Thanks, Dominic, for your coming on today. Great debate. As you can probably tell by the comments, I think you won. They called it a burial, not a debate.
I mean,
Slater, great show, dude. I know Mike is starving. So
good. See, when it flows like that, I mean, I'm in it. Plus, I have my Crave Creatine. I was telling everybody while they're fighting over the bread and milk that if you take
Mike doesn't gotta worry about that.
You get creatine, you get even your bread and milk goes a little bit longer because you're going to grow muscle.
I still haven't talked to Ryan about having a show on the network. I think that's right there. If you guys are wondering why go to the app, why be part of the OG Council, which is what the app is, that will probably be a scheduled meeting with everybody to either come on a non-recorded, you come on virtually. We have a panel. You can be in the comments. You can just be audio if you want. That is something where we would poll everybody to see, is it a good business idea? Whether you hate it or you hate him, business wise, we can trust these guys, the OG Council. They want to see the broadcast grow. and they would be very honest. Like, even though I hate this guy,
You have to.
it's a
You
good
have
business system.
to me, it makes sense because if you
I know.
if you bring
It
his
does-
audience to a show, it's by nature.
It makes sense to me because it's fucking counterculture. Free speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but we've also done things where we're like, yeah, people will resonate with this, right? And then groupthink happens and we just get slaughtered. And so, and it, it's just good to poll the guys, and we're moving so fast like this, thinking about the business, that sometimes we don't slow down and think about anything. So, anyways, that's it for the day, guys. Tonight on the Counterculture Inc. Network. On YouTube, the YouTube channel, the Counterculture Inc. YouTube channel will be Counterculture Live tonight at 8 p.m. Eli will be back from hanging out with the grandparents, so I have our producer.
Beautiful.
And tomorrow's Casual Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Super chat.
Oh, shit, 6. I'm in the process. I need a couple more days. There's a lot of configuring.
We'll have another
do.
meeting about it.
No, we're not.
No?
That was awful. You weren't there. That was the dumbest idea ever. It's not against any one person. It was just, it's not a good idea to ask 30 people what their take is on something, because it was just nuts. But all right, tomorrow, 1 p.m. We'll see you then.
JV team for life.